Hey Gengar gang, what is going on? My name is Ryan, this is the Analytic Gengar, and welcome to another video. In today's video, friends, we discuss the EX Deoxys booster box, the potential second place runner for most expensive Pokemon card sealed box in the world. Well, in today's video, we're going to talk about it. And hopefully we're going to discover some of the possible reasons why that might be. Now, as a start, if you go on eBay right now and type in Pokemon card booster box and then sort by price high to low, you won't be surprised to find some very high valued items. Some of them painfully high value, including but not limited to first edition base set, Neo Rev, Neo Destiny, Skyridge, etc., etc. But one thing that I have found particularly interesting is that there is a particular box that continues to rise above the rest, and it's something that wasn't there a year ago. It's the box that you see on screen right now, the sealed EX Deoxys booster box. As a little bit of context, let's take a look at this listing in order to learn a little bit more about the box. On the front of the box, you'll see that it prominently features Deoxys, a Generation 3 legendary Pokemon that is one of two sets that has ever been named in the history of the Pokemon card trading game to be named after a Pokemon. EX Deoxys was the first, and the second is Arceus in Generation 4. Deoxys is an interesting Pokemon to say the least, and I think that the front of the box really says a lot about what this Pokemon kind of embodies. It's mysterious, it's different, it's humanoid, and yet for some reason totally not. And it's definitely a Pokemon that really kind of has a presence on the front of the box, may I just say. On the side, we'll see one of Deoxys's many forms. I believe that is its attack form. And then on the side, you'll see reach a new meteoric level of play. And they kind of stage this around this whole idea of this legendary battle between Deoxys and Rayquaza, who is actually on one of the sides of the box. And then on the other side is the defense form. And then on the bottom of the box is the, barcode, and not a retail barcode, and this is for sale in North America only. So this is a North American box. That's pretty cool. And there are actually some other ones as well. This box does have a fair bit of damage, everyone be warned, which is why it may not carry the premium other boxes will. But yeah, that is a EX Deoxys booster box. So now the next question is, why the price tag? Well, let's scroll down and take a look at the listing. Perhaps that will help us. For sale is a EX Deoxys booster box, 36 packs, which is pretty standard. Here's something interesting. Contains the Gold Star Rayquaza, Latios or Latias, and it's one of the scarcest items in the hobby and is rarely available for sale. First edition base set would be the only box that is more valuable. The seller then goes on to describe the condition of the box, and then as well as some of the logistics information for sales. Now, interestingly enough, I find it kind of funny. There is a unlimited Neo Destiny box right here for about $60,000, and there is a red jungle logo jungle box for give or take 80 grand US. So, chump change for most of us, I'm sure, but yeah, that's the box. So now that we've gotten a good look at one of these listings, let's talk about it. What's up with this box that makes it so valuable? And in short, I think it's due to three main things. Those three things are the pulls, the rarity, and the scarcity of the item. And in today's video, my goal is to kind of clearly define each of those three things. And even if you may disagree with the terminology that I'm using to describe them, I think what should be accomplished in today's video is that you'll get the general idea or theme behind the term, and I think that's what's honestly more important when it comes to understanding why this box may be valuable. So first things first, let's talk about the pulls, which were actually mentioned right over here, you've got the Gold Star Rayquaza, Latios, or Latias. Now, for anyone who's not familiar, Gold Star cards were released in certain EX era sets. They are notoriously difficult to pull. Typically, they will go about 1 in every 2 booster boxes. So in theory, if you were very lucky, you would need to open 6 booster boxes just to get all 3 of the gold stars that were in EX Deoxys. All that said, you might be unlucky and pull nothing in 6 boxes. Again, there was no guarantee around this stuff. All that's genuinely known is that these cards are exceptionally hard to pull. Now, the Rayquaza card has on its own gone ahead and sold for $45,000 at auction on PWCC. And interestingly enough, that is just the tip of the iceberg, because a lot of people argue that the holo foil cards in the set, the EX era cards in the set, meaning the EX ultra rares, and many of the other cards are some of the most beautiful in the hobby. And as a result, they are also some of the rarest in the hobby, and they are also some of the most difficult to grade in the hobby. What this means is that there's tons of reasons why you might want one of these packs, and a sealed booster box would contain 36 of them. As a result, there is a very strong upwards momentum on the box to continue to appreciate in value, especially as collectors and investors are more and more willing to purchase any of the graded or ungraded EX cards, with the ultra rares, the holographic rares, the reverse holos, and specifically those gold star cards, which are starting to fetch as much money as many very well loaded SUVs might cost. So, in the grand scheme of things, the demand for the cards in this set will continue to drive the box up in price, and that's one of the reasons why it could be seen to have this type of price tag. And when you think about it, it's kind of reasonable. If a Rayquaza card sells for $50,000, more or less, then you figure the box could be anywhere from $50,000 up. So in theory, that could be one way to see and accept what's going on in terms of how the box and the price of the most expensive card in the set are related. There might be some sort of influence that one has on the other, and we've seen this actually play out with the first edition Charizard cards and the first edition base set sealed booster boxes. Now, second up on the list is going to be Rarity. Now, for the sake of today's conversation, Rarity is going to be what I define as the fact that it's an older box. This is a vintage Pokemon item, to say the least. And this is probably going to be a no-duh type of point for most people. This is a box that is, at this point, going on, let's see, that would be nearly 20, give or take 15 years, I think. Hold on, I have to do the math. Okay, yeah, I was right. It's 15 years, meaning that this is a box that, in no uncertain terms, is one of the oldest in the existence of Pokemon. Mind you, the oldest possible English box from the official Pokemon TCG would have to be base set, which was released in '99, meaning, you know, some boxes are only 6 years older, but other than this, it is a rare box. These were not in very high supply, and to have lasted 15 years in a sealed collection is going to be a difficult and equally as impressive feat. So one thing to bear in mind is that since this is an older Pokemon card box, it will carry a significant premium, much like any of the other WotC era or EX era boxes would for the time. Now, second most important, aside from potentially pulling a gold star, is going to be my next point, and that's going to be the discussion on scarcity. Scarcity is different than rarity, because when I call this box rare, I just mean to say it's vintage. You know, it's old, it's rare, much like any other booster box that's not, you know, from modern sets would be rare. It's rare because it's old, it's rare because someone kept it sealed all this time instead of opening it up, and that's what makes it a rare find. However, this box is unique because not only is it rare, It's also incredibly scarce, and this is something that a lot of people have yet to understand about EX era boxes, and something that I think will eventually potentially drive some of these boxes very clearly into second place when it comes to the most expensive and most valuable booster boxes in our hobby. So what do I mean by that? Well, for anyone who's unaware, in the early 2000s, Wizards of the Coast lost the licensing rights to print Pokemon cards. Part of the reason for that is because Nintendo and Pokemon wanted to bring the Pokemon trading card game, particularly production of it, in-house. So instead of paying Wizards to do it, Pokemon would just bring it in-house. So Pokemon brought it in-house by having Nintendo print these boxes. However, at the same time, one of the major issues that was being experienced by the hobby is that there was a significant lack of interest. A lot of people had grown up, more or less, because in 1999, you were a 5, 6, 7-year-old, but by 2006, you were that many years older, and you were simply not interested in Pokemon cards anymore. This is a rare event because Pokemon literally was brought to the US in 99. Meaning there was a significant chance that there would be a time when those original fans grew up, and it would be a little bit of a gap before their little brothers, their little sisters, and quote-unquote the next generation were old enough to be able to play the Pokemon card game or collect the trading cards and derive any real value. Think about it, if you were born in 2000, you would only be 6 by the time this box had come out. So it'd be kind of weird for you to be an active, avid collector. In theory, you'd probably need to be around 8, 9, 10 years old, meaning you would have had to been born in like 97, 96, meaning there was a weird, awkward gap when the original fans were too old and too cool to play Pokemon cards anymore, and the younger kids were not old enough to be able to actively collect this stuff. That period of time happened right around when these boxes were being printed, and as a result, the Pokemon trading card company was very aware and cognizant of that and actually reduced the number of cards that had been printed. As a result of this, the entire EX era is known for its scarcity. Unlike Wizards of the Coast era stuff, things like Jungle and Base Set and Skyridge, which were printed basically maliciously because people realized that it was so popular, and so, yeah, we're just gonna print the living crap out of it. These boxes were printed with the opposite sort of energy in mind. Basically print enough to meet demand, but not too much because we don't want to waste the money and the time and the resources in order to print this stuff only for it to either be returned to us or for it to sit on store shelves and not be purchased. As a result of that, many, many years later, specifically 15 years later, we're now sitting looking at this box wondering how many of these actually exist in the world. And that is what really will drive the price of this box in the future. I know tons of people will say it, have said it, probably have said it before me and after me, but one of the major reasons why this box is going to be exceptionally rare is because prior to 2020, you could not even find this box listed on eBay. In 2019, one of these boxes sold for, I think, under $7,000 at auction on eBay. After that, there was not a box listed on eBay until late 2020. And right now, there is a auction offer open over on one of the private auction houses if anyone wants to sell a box for $100,000. So right away, I can tell you any one person who owns this box, mind you, that might not be a big number, might walk over to that auction house and sell their box for $100,000. Imagine that. You could cash in for the price of a Corvette. But you know what? No one has. And that's because the people who own this box likely believe this box is more valuable than $100,000 because there are only so many sealed versions of this box available. Currently, based on my research, I was able to find 2 on eBay. I own one of them. The Pokeju over on Instagram owns one of them. Whale EX also owns one of them. which brings the total number of boxes up to 5. Of the bigger YouTubers, PokeRev is the only one that I know of who has one in his sealed collection, bringing the total up to 6. And even if we round that up to 40, just for funsies, because we can assume that many collectors have these boxes but aren't on any of the platforms and don't share it actively with other people, even after that, the number 40 isn't a big number. People estimate first edition base set boxes to be like 120 that are still left in the world. Well, I guess 119 because Leonhardt just cut one open on his channel a couple days ago. But what's really, really painfully awkward is that there's only a third of these boxes by my estimation. Now, how true or false that is, I don't know. But those, my friends, are the 3 reasons that I believe this box can justifiably carry a $119,000 price tag and still probably be undervalued. With that said, friends, thanks again for checking out today's video. I do hope you enjoyed this new type of commentary video. I'm going to categorize it under Card Vault. Could it be a Poke Chat? Yeah, probably, but I mean, here we are. If you enjoyed today's video, feel free to subscribe to the channel. It is free to do so, I promise. But as always, thank you again for the support. Please feel free to leave a like on the video and leave any comments and questions down below. And what your thoughts might be on EX Deoxys, or what you think the second most expensive Pokemon card set could be. Other than that, I always appreciate your viewership, so thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me. Hope you guys are having a great day. On Saturday, we're going to do some PSA Greater Returns, so that should be fun. Definitely feel free to ring the bell so you get notified for when those videos go out. And other than that, friends, thanks again for checking out today's video, and I'll talk to you real soon. Peace!